Well, hello and welcome back to my workbench. It is time once again to try to fix something. Today on the workbench, I have another PS5 that is misbehaving. Let me read to you the description of this PS5. I don't think it's totally dead. Let me see what it says. This console is for parts only. It doesn't turn on anymore. There's some sort of power issue. It beeps and doesn't turn on, selling as is for parts. It comes with a power cord and a Call of Duty Modern Warfare case because the disc is stuck in the machine. So that's what we're starting with. And as I was unwrapping the bubble wrap from around this, a internal screw fell out. So yeah, I think we're going to find that this has been opened up before. For right now, I'm going to give it some AC power. We're going to see just, what kind of beeping we're getting. Let's see. Power supply looked like it was starting. What kind of a beep are we getting? An occasional beep, a regular beep? Oh, blue light. And off. Blue light flashed for a few seconds and then off. I'm going to press the button again, which should shut it down totally. Turn it back on again. Oh, that time it was quick on and off. All right, I hit the button again. Let's see. First time I did it, it was a slow, delayed off. The second time, it was fast like that. So, it's a beep on off. And this is one of those, the seller did not mention a light coming on. Convenient. So that's what we're starting with. Let me get it apart. I'll at least get started with it and see what it looks like. Well, I have disassembled it down to the circuit board, and there were a lot of screws out of place, a lot of screws missing. We've got a crimped coax over there, and we have what looks to be a failed repair attempt of some kind on a rail that feeds into the APU. So none of this is good. They did not even make an attempt to clean this up or hide it. This looks horrible. I'm not sure what all this is. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to get another microscope and just see if I can tell what's going on here. That's all I can see from above right now. Well, nope, there's been some work around the HDMI area too. See all that flux? Somebody has just been on a wild goose chase in here. Yeah, I do wish they would mention that stuff in listings. Of course, I'm not going to. Okay, let me get this board on out in my hands. I'd like to see what's going on the other side of the board. Are there any more surprises? Well, I have the board completely out now in my hands, and looking at this side of the board, I don't really see any signs of previous work. I was kind of expecting to see some, let me get some focus around this HDMI area since they had messed with the other side of the board. But so far, unless I'm missing it, I don't see any signs of work. Flux. Nothing around the south bridge. But this side of the board, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to take in. We need to go to the microscope. I can't really tell exactly what's going on. I just want to see if there's any work on that side of the board, and I don't see any. So let me get set up, switch to the microscope. Well, hopefully I have everything set up that we need. I think we're ready to switch to the microscope. Let's see what's going on here. What is that? I honestly don't know what that is. It scrapes right up. So was somebody looking for a short? I just wonder if they were doing injection. How much did they inject? Where did it go? Did they try to replace a MOSFET? Okay, let's look over in this HDMI area behind it. Just kind of curious what's going on over there. Okay. Look like they've swapped out this I see here, which I believe is a voltage regulator. Can't recall if it's 1.8 or 0.9. Have to look at some notes. But yeah, that's been removed and replaced. Somebody was just on a wild goose chase. Because this is the HDMI circuit, which has nothing to do with what's going on down here, which is, this is generating some rails that go into the APU, like 9/10 of a volt. So I am wondering, is there a short in this area? And a lot of this area is a low impedance area. You will get low readings, like less than 10 ohms, and that's normal. I think I'm in continuity mode. What do I have like right here? 1.6. That may be okay. What's going on down here? That's ground, I guess. I'm gonna have to clean all this up. This is a mess. So, okay, that's the two rails. One of these reads, I want to say like 4 or 5 ohms, 13 ohms, and one reads 1.7. That I think is normal. I think someone thought that was a short and went to chasing a short. And when they didn't find it, they threw it in a box and sold it to some sucker. That would be me. Has that dialog chip been changed? Or is it just a lot of flux runoff from this area up here? I mean, the joists look good. It looks factory. Let's see if we can clean some of this, whatever this is, off. How easy does it come off with alcohol? Oh, it just disappears. I mean, they could have done that, and I would never have known anything like it never ever even happened. This flux I'm gonna have to heat up to get rid of that. And that flux. Is there something under that flux? I can't tell. Let me get some hot air. Soften this up a little. Nope, just a big blob of flux, looks like. There we go, there it goes. Okay, gone. Same thing here. Get a little heat on it. Can't really tell if that MOSFET's been changed or not. flux is not wanting to give up. Okay, it came out there. It's just hard to get in that little area close to the MOSFET. Okay, we're looking better. A somewhat fresh start. Nothing knocked off that I've seen. Nothing removed. Let me get set up. Let's give this board 12 volts and see what kind of current draw we get. Well, I've got my board connected. Got my polarity right. Just knocked my negative lead loose. Just trying to get them to lay flat. Alrighty. We're ready to give this board 12 volts and see what kind of current draw we get over here. Channel 1, set for 12 volts at a ½ amp of current. And on. 450 milliamps and back down to 120. Okay, yeah, that doesn't look good. So there's roughly 120 milliamps of extra current going on, which would be about right. You know, if it peaked at 300, 330, it went to 450. So, and then it went down to 120 milliamps idle. So yeah, there's 120 milliamps of current going somewhere it should not. Doesn't really sound like enough to possibly see with thermal cam, although I might try it. So, I'm thinking. There's only so many things that have power when you first turn this thing on. There's the 5-volt rail, which, you know, most of the other standby voltages are derived from, the 3.3, 1.8, 0.9, whatever. Somewhere, we've got a low resistance. I am wondering, see if I can switch back to the overhead. So we're not dead, but we've got leakage somewhere, like something is breaking down. I'm wondering what kind of resistance readings we have, because it doesn't sound like there's a dead short anywhere, because well, there could be. Let me just stay in continuity mode just a moment. What do we have around this Bluetooth Wi-Fi module? That's, well, if I can get on the right. 0.3, that's probably ground. Yeah, we're 1,000 ohms and climbing there. And that's ground. 200 ohms. That sounds normal. So I don't think it's there. What do I read right on the 5-volt rail here? Still in continuity mode though. Started at 1,000, going over 2,000. That doesn't really look too bad. What else is going to have power? A lot of stuff around this RT5126. You generate your standby voltage. A lot of things there will be getting power. The SSD will be getting power. Let me check something right quick, like. Let me go to voltage mode on my meter. I'm just kind of curious what rails we have when I give it power. Like, is that, it looks like this module, which module is this? J20H100. I believe that's going to take 3.3 and 1.8. Just kind of curious if it has those. Polarity is right. I'm going to give it 12 volts again. And what do we have here? 3.3. And do we have the 1.8? We have the 1.8. All right, that looks normal. Are we getting this 3.3 for this Bluetooth Wi-Fi module is a separate supply than the 3.3 that's up here. And that looks good though. The one coming out of the RT5126, actually this may be a dialogue chip. Same thing, same function. Do we have 1.15? We have 1.15. We have on this one. Yeah. There's also a 2-volt rail up here somewhere. Yeah, 1.98. That looks normal. Everything looks normal. Our 5 volts is 5 volts, isn't it? 5.1, close enough. What are we getting? Let me turn the power off and back on. We'll see what we're getting around the HDMI encoder on these bypass capacitors. Are we getting 1.8, 0.9? Nothing there. What about here? Nothing there. What is our resistance on this HDMI encoder? And the K ohms on that capacitor. What about this one? 400 ohms. No. No shorts. No shorts. All right, well, I decided to get out the thermal cam. And let me show you what I am seeing. This is at the back of the board, but the side opposite the APU. I'm going to give it 12 volts. And right over in this area, there is a small DC-DC converter marked 3219. That's a TI chip, TPS 53219A, I think it is. And it is getting warm. Not excessively hot, but it's getting warm. I'm not even sure why it's running right now. I really thought that this area of the board did not run until you were turning it on. But it is certainly doing something. And I also see some chips up here getting warm along with maybe the APU a little. But this is the area we had all that work. I had all that, I don't know if that was rosin or what that was, all over the board. But that seems to be related to this chip right over here, which I've got to look into it and do some research to figure out, should that chip be doing anything right now, and what does it generate? So yeah, there's a mystery here. Well, here it is the next day. Where are we on this PS5 board? Well, I figured out a few things, trying to understand what's happening. I haven't figured everything out though. But I have figured out that this IC right here that was getting warm, that's a 3.3 volt regulator for the M2 drive. The output of it goes to these pins there on the bottom side of this connector right down here. There's a group of pins, so that's a 3.3 volt for that. Okay, and this up here, these are making some voltages for the SoC, or system on chip as they call it. 0.85 and I think 1 volt is what they output, and they look like that's what they're running too, but they should not be on at this point. In standby, they should not be powered up at all. So something very strange is happening. And from what I can figure out, all of these rails, these here and this one down here, are controlled by our old friend, the South Bridge. The control lines seem to go right there. I've got another board with the South Bridge pulled, and I was been chasing down connections, but they're controlled by this South Bridge. So, is our South Bridge bad? That's an option. It's a South Bridge. They like to die. Is this a problem with the firmware in here? Is that a possibility? I've never seen that with corrupt firmware causing rails to come up when they shouldn't. But it's a possibility, I suppose. So I do have another board here with another, this is a 69GG. I do have another one here with a 69GG on it that I could pull and reball. But if you notice, the flash IC, the NOR, is missing right there. But I have it right here. I think I was from another one I was working on. So I do have it, and I'm thinking about putting that on there. Just see if it makes any difference in the symptoms. Does it change it? That's a thought. Let's do that and just see what happens. See if it changes that initial current draw in any way. It won't take but a few minutes, so I'll give that a try. Well, all right then. I have swapped out that NOR IC, the flash. I believe that is good contents on this one, I'm pretty sure. Let's see if it's made any difference. I got my polarity right. Let's give it 12 volts and see what she does. Nope, still 450 and it's come back to 130. So no change, no change. Okay, well I guess that eliminates something, I think. I think the contents of this IC is going to be just fine. I'll put it back, and I think I need to swap out my South Bridge. All right, it's reballing time. Well, our south bridge has been changed. I somehow neglected to switch to the proper source when I was heating it up to seat it back down, but I did, and it's reinstalled now. 69GG installed. Let's see if it's done us any good. Check the polarity. Give it 12 volts. 320, 340, come back down. That looks much better. Looks much better than that 400 and something we were getting. All right, we're ready to try this. That was a weird one, though. We're ready to put this in the case and see if it's done any good. Well, I think I've got it slipped together just enough to test. The fan's just propped there. Yep, let's see what she will do. Blue light, fan spinning. I like that. White light. Okay. And storage check. All right. Signs of life. Reboot. Yep, back to blue. All right, I think we're going to be all right. She's going to come up and give us a beautiful logo. Like, ooh, what was that? We have a bad HDMI port also? Okay. I've got to get a... Is that port bad? Nope. All right, I'm going to get a controller hooked up. Just a second. And with the controller connected. All right. Okay. And we're back. Excellent. All right, let me put this back together. See if it works when it's fully reassembled. Well, here she is all reassembled. I'm installing a game. There was already a game in the drive, like the listing mentioned. Got that out, no problem. But she is installing a game and seems to be working just fine. So, well, that was an odd one, the way that a South Bridge died. I've never seen one die quite like that, where it turned on random rails. But, yeah, it's something good to know going forward. Well, I hope you liked that one. That was so interesting, educational, entertaining, any of the above. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you in that very next repair. So long for now.